Alright, welcome to the first video on this channel. This channel is just mainly for me to journal my trades as I go through this journey with trading. A little background really quick. I was never consistent. I blew accounts. You know, the newbie thing, people trying to get rich quick, you know, that type of mindset. So ended up taking a long time break and I finally came back to trading. Something about trading just I gravitate towards to it. So at the end of the day, let's just go over this trade that I took today. Today is August 22 of 2022. We had a trade here on GJ this morning around, I wish I could know the time, around 8:30 around there. So when I came to the chart, you know, I do my top down analysis really fast. It really doesn't take that long. We see a lot of rejections to the upside. This could show momentum to the downside, but we don't know, right? We see the 4 hour, we have tons of resistance. You know, you can go on here and, you know, there's tons of resistance, tons of support, but I just skipped all this. I was like, yeah, just keep it in mind that we are at a level of support on the higher time frames, just to have that in mind. You're gonna go down to the hours, you have tons of support, but I didn't really mark these up. I really came straight to the 30-minute after just looking what the higher time frames are doing and focus on the 30-minute. When I came to the chart, we had this resistance here that I've seen clearly, so I marked that up. I'm gonna mark it up just so you can see it. That's what I seen. This bullish candle and all these other bars weren't there at the time. It was simply right. It was just this. It was these candles that were in the making when I came on the chart. So we had a resistance here. We had support here. Price was bullish, but it was jumping around. You know, I did not know what to do. Now I could have traded this range, you know, and see if price was gonna make it pull back down to test the support. But I was not gonna take the chances, and the only reason why is because we have a resistance that was created here with these three candles, and I mean support. Sorry, a support created with these three candles and made a range very small, a 24 pip range on GJ. I don't think that's big enough for you to trade. But the overall range was a 46 pip, which is not a bad range, and price is coming back into this range, which is very interesting. But the trade that we took was right here on a minute 15. An impulsive trade, nonetheless. It was impulsive. Understand the risk involved with that. This candle closed bullish. The next candle ripped down, created a wick. I waited for the tail to be created, and then after it broke its high, I entered a trade. With stops right below the candle wick of this candle right here. It was more like this, if anything. I took around 12 pips. Honestly, I didn't want to stay in the trade too long. It was a 12 pip gain. I'll take it. Better than zero and better than a loss. So I want to break down this trade a little more in depth, just because I feel like I could have managed the trade just a tad bit better. Looking down a 5-minute, we had this candle. This bearish candle was the one that closed, and at this point I didn't realize it closed like this, so I went down on a minute 5, and then the next candle ended up breaking its high, ended up going bearish. But the reason why I did not want to close it or cut 50% is because price only ever came down to this low right here of this candle right here, and it tested this again. So you could say it tested this little very minor support. If you go down to the minute, you can probably see it. As you can see, it came back to test it, but I don't look at the minute. I simply look at the 5 minutes to see what price was doing on a smaller time frame. This price ended up going bearish. I probably should have closed 50% there. I didn't. I held the trade simply for the fact it was like 8:30, 8:35, and I was like, well, we're gonna have volume at 9 o'clock as well, and as close as we get to 9 o'clock, we're gonna have some volume into the market. So we ended up going closing bullish and broke the high, and at that point price just went straight into profits. I was probably down maybe 6 pips. Probably could have closed the trade 50% the moment this candle broke, closed this week of a bullish candle, or when this candle broke this low. Just try to get a small loser if price were to start falling down. But price ended up working in our favor and pushed towards the top. Now the overall TP was this high over here on the 30-minute over here, but I did notice on the minute 15 we did have this resistance here, and well, as you see, price respected that and ended up rejecting it, but it ended up at least coming up to this point at 162.108 and just playing out beautifully. I really should kept my TPs right there, but I took what I can get. At the end of the day, if you leave money on the table, it's fine. It's always going to happen again, and this is part of the trading journey. But overall, the trade was a nice trade. It worked out in my favor. I did actually want to take the trade a little earlier on the minute 30 after this candle closed bullish, and after this candle broke its high right here. After the moment it broke that high, I wanted to take a trade. That was my first initial thought, but I was like, it gave us no wick to the downside, no tail, no nothing. Didn't grab more liquidity, but ended up playing very well. But I didn't take it. I got a later entry. So if we do the math here, I got almost a 14 pip late entry, but I gained 12 pips. So in a day, it was a winning trade. The experience will come with that over time, and that was my trade for the day. So not bad. I'm gonna show you here on my FX book just to show you where I'm at. I don't want to hide anything. As you see, bad results. If you go back to 2021, yep, down 8%, 7%. Now during this time, I wasn't really confident on my trading skills, and I was strategy hopping, so that was to be expected. Then we had like a less than a percent gain here on April. Probably a random trade that I took and ended up winning. Very small trade. And then July I actually got 12%, which wasn't bad actually. I was surprised. 12%, that wasn't bad. And then in August we're already up. Well, it's almost end of August, but August, hopefully we end up in the green. Right now we're up 9.83%. Which is very, very nice. I'll be honest with you. I thought, my trading has become more consistent, and my emotions have become less involved with my trading. I do want to improve my risk management. But we can look at here. We have some pairs: GJ, GU, UJ. As you see on my charts, I don't have CAD anymore, which was GDP CAD. I removed it just because that pair was so bad. I just didn't like trading it, and all my losers came from that one pair. So I was like, I'm just not trading it. UJ, I think I took one trade last week, but other than that, not much. GU, I don't trade as often. And then GJ, winning trade today, very lovely. 12 pip gain. 10 pips is all you need, I guess. But yeah, other than that, guys, I appreciate you watching. If this is really no information given, it's just for me to record my trades. But overall, thank you for watching. If you watch, hopefully if you do, do whatever you want with this information, and I'll see you guys directly tomorrow if I do trade. So bye.